up, people? It's motherfucking Smash Beans. Like, I need to introduce myself. Anyways, guys, so I'm sitting here on Facebook, you know, reading all these posts, and what's funny is you get misinformation from both sides, from both the Democrats and the Republicans. And yeah, on Facebook, I subscribe to a lot of stuff. I subscribe to the Democrats, I subscribe to the Republicans, I subscribe to the atheists, I subscribe to the Christians, I subscribe to the Wiccans, to the pagans, to people who practice voodoo, Santeria. I subscribe to bands. I subscribe to Confederate pages, you know, the Confederate flag, the Civil War. I subscribe to all that. And of course, you know, I subscribe to girls in bikinis. You know, those are my favorite posts. So anyways, before I get into all that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. When I was growing up, I registered as an anarchist as soon as I was 18. I registered for the draft, and I registered as an anarchist, and I remember I had a car follow me around for 2 months, and it got to the point where they were so obvious, and it was just so bad that people stopped hanging out with me because, you know, it kind of creeped them out. So my grandma found out I was a registered anarchist, and she says, no, you have to register as a Democrat. And for the longest time, I, you know, teached and preached and told my friends, you know, we need to register as a Democrat because my grandma says that the Democrat cares about poor people and that the Republicans only care about rich white people. And being Mexican and being poor most of my life, you can see the holes in my shirt because I, you know, really can't afford anything fancy like a shirt with no holes. I know you're going to ask, well, where'd you get the camera to make these videos then, Stevie Steve? Well, I'll tell you something, motherfucker. I have neighbors, all right? So, back to my point. Yeah, I'm very poor. I can't afford a lot of things. And at the time, you know, growing up, because I lived pretty close to Beverly Hills, we would see these rich white people drive through in their fancy cars and their nice clothes. And I you know, hated rich white people for a long time because they're all Republican. Of course, you know, further on down the line, you know, these rich white people gave me a job and taught me a thing or two, and yeah, that was good. You know, I kind of stopped that hate. So anyways, you know, growing up, you know, I was Mexican, they were white, you know, whatever. I was all racial. I'm better about things now. Woo! You know, but you know, I made love to plenty of beautiful rich white women. Woo! Got paid for some of it, but we won't go into all that. Okay, so anyways, where was I talking about? Oh yeah, Facebook. So you know, I subscribe to all this different stuff because, you know, I'm always curious to see, you know, the other side, the flip of the coin. You know, sometimes there's 3 sides, sometimes there's 4 sides, but, you know, I always want to see both sides before I say anything or do anything or think indifferently, you know, kind of like, you know, growing up, you know, I was taught to hate, you know, I was taught to be a homophobe. I was taught that, you know, that we didn't come from monkeys or whatever. You know, my dad used to say, oh, we didn't come from no apes, you know, just out of nowhere. But it never clicked. I grew up in a bubble, a Christian bubble. Yeah, so I was Christian and Democrat. Oh, what a combination. Look at that, huh? So you think that all Democrats are atheists. You think all Republicans are Christians. No, siree. So anyways, somebody posted a post, you know, saying we need to defend Hillary Clinton. You know, it came off one of the Democrat pages, and you know, I, you know, been registered as a Democrat for a long time, a lot of years. That was my party, was. So I, you know, replied, why are we defending Hillary Clinton? We need to defend the Constitution. Hillary Clinton has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that she is not capable of making rational decisions. Okay? We know this. Yeah, you can argue with me all you want, but it comes down to who's not Secretary of State anymore? Hillary Clinton. Yeah, got replaced by John Kerry of all people. Can you believe that? John, boy, come on. We can do better than that. God. How about Alan Grayson? You know what? Let's fucking make Alan Grayson president. This motherfucker. No, fuck Grayson. I like him, but you know, he's good. He's a good Democrat. He is. He's one of the few good Democrats. He doesn't got all the celebrity, you know, fame, but he's a good Democrat. I like Alan Grayson. You know, I used to be Democrat. I can't help it. I can't help but like the man, you know. And another post that I seen come up was one that said, you know, I guess some Republican, some rich white Christian Republican got himself arrested. You know how them rich white Republicans are always in trouble, right? So he's out there doing what you know is best for America. And yes, I am a Mexican. A lot of people don't understand what the fuck a Mexican is. Well, let me tell you what the fuck a Mexican is. It's like this, right? You're half conquistador, half whatever tribe that the conquistadors mixed in, bordered off as Mexico. And it's the same way all the way down. Peruvian, El Salvadorian, it don't matter. It's geological, all right? I mean, some of us still have, you know, roots to our ancient tribes. Some of us are lost in the whole Mexican thing, all right? We are detached from our identities. So, anyways, so this Republican got himself into some trouble, you know, defending America of all things. Oh my gosh, when did defending America become a crime, right? And so I guess, you know, this Republican being a little dog behind a big fucking fence, you know, was running his mouth, free speech. And I know a lot of you motherfuckers are like, oh, well, you have freedom of speech, but you're not free from the consequences of your speech. You know what? Then that means you do not believe in free fucking speech. Let me repeat that. That means you do not believe in free fucking speech, okay? Free speech is so that you can fucking run your mouth and be free, motherfucker. That's what free speech is. You want to, you know, beat up some fucking white power guy for running his mouth? That's between you and Mr. White Power. You want to beat up some Black Panther guy for running his mouth? That's between you and the Black Panther. I am not playing into all that. But on a political stage in America, you have the freedom of speech. This means that you are free from those consequences. That means you can displease the king. That means you can displease the president. That means you can displease every senator, congressman, governor, mayor, from up and all down the motherfucking line. That is free motherfucking speech. God fucking damn it. I am fucking on fire for the Lord. Anyways, not really. So this Republican ran his mouth, got himself arrested. Yeah, I know. What happened to the First Amendment when you run your mouth and you get arrested? Yeah, no, we are to be free from those consequences, regardless of those speeches hurting your feelings. Oh, here, let me play a little violin for you. Oh, your feelings trump my rights any day of the week just because you cry and you get your feelings hurt. I am so sorry. And so he ran his mouth. And the caption was, "Liberals Unite." Now, I didn't catch the whole motherfucking thing. I just looked at that one piece, and yeah, I'm claiming ignorance. I just looked at that one piece, and to me, what that sounded like was, hey, let's forget about justice. Let's throw things like evidence, justice, you know, integrity, honor. Let's throw all that shit out the window. Why? Because we want to fuck the other guy. Why do we want to fuck the other guy? Because he's not one of us. That's why. Yeah, just the bullshit that comes from either party is fucking bullshit. And what the Democrat versus Republican debate boils down to is this, okay? And I see it all the fucking time. A dog comes along and shits on the grass. And the Democrats and the Republicans want to make it a Democrat versus Republican issue. And everybody on either side, on their team, doesn't care. They're going to say, you know, the Democrats are going to debate that it's Doberman shit. And Republicans are going to debate that, no, it is pit bullshit. And both sides are going to have these long theoreticals as to why that either side is right and why the other side is wrong. And they're going to play the race card, they're going to play economics, and you know what? I am the poorest motherfucker on the fucking playing field right now, all right? And with that, you know, as a Democrat, you know, I love JFK, all right? He's one of my all-time favorite presidents. And, you know, when Nancy Pelosi and the rest of the Democratic Party passed Obamacare without reading it, I quit the Democratic Party, because that showed not only how stupid they are, but how ignorant that they are, that they would disregard justice. They would disregard what's right or wrong. They could have been, you know, passing another fucking Nazi agenda, okay? And they didn't know it. They didn't care. Oh, you know, somebody said something, so we don't know what it is, and we're going to pass it just to find out. No, you read that motherfucker. That's why I pay you motherfucking taxes, bitch. You're supposed to read that shit, not claim fucking ignorance, you know? Them passing Obamacare showed a total lack of leadership in the Democratic Party. That's what that showed me, all right? And that's why I registered as a Republican. Now, why a Republican? Well, I'll explain to you why I registered as a Republican and not a Libertarian and all this other stuff. We'll just keep it Democrat versus Republican, all right? In a republic, you know, your rights as an individual are protected. Okay, and I know that there's a lot of crappy Republicans like Rush Limbaugh and Bill O'Reilly, and I can't stand those fucking idiots, okay? They're complete fucking morons. Can't stand them. So anyways, when I registered as a Republican, I registered out of principle as to what, you know, a republic is supposed to be, which is, you know, protecting the rights of individuals. In a democracy, it doesn't matter your rights. You have no rights. You know, both Adolf Hitler and Hillary Clinton, they're both like, you know what, we need to get away from the individual and just control society as a whole. You know, and I don't give a fuck about either one of those people. I don't give a fuck about Hillary Clinton. I don't give a fuck about Adolf Hitler, all right? I've been on here on YouTube for quite a while, and I've always tried to, you know, speak up and defend the rights of other people the best as I can, you know, as well as, you know, I'm involved in, you know, a lot of civil rights organizations. You know, I try to do what I can. I you know, put my money where my mouth is, and that's part of why I don't have any, you know, good clothes, because, you know, what little money I get, you know, goes to my children. You know, I pay my child support, and I, you know, still buy stuff for my children. I put them before me. I can wear this all day. You know why? Because I still get mine. I still get laid no matter what the fuck I look like when I go out into public, all right? That's because I'm motherfucking smash beans. Ugh! Yeah, it's good to be the king. So anyways, you know, in a democracy, anyway, the majority votes is how you're going to live, you know. So in a Christian nation like this, you know, if it was a democracy, you know, we wouldn't have gay marriage. But because it's a republic, yeah. Because of the Constitution, yes. We have the right to marry whoever the fuck we want. And that's a beautiful thing. You know, I'm all for, you know, the rights of individuals. You know I've had some people, you know, walk up to me on the streets and, you know, want to talk about gun control. You know, oh my gosh, you know, they're all, you don't need 10 AK-47s with a laser light scope and a rocket launcher. I'm all, yeah, I do. I need about 20 of them. You know, and I need cases and cases, and I need cases upon cases of armor-piercing ammo to go with it. You know, that's my motherfucking constitutional right. You know, for you to tell me that I don't need this much is like somebody telling you that you don't need 10 pages to file a grievance against the government. You know, it's simple. You start deteriorating one right, you start deteriorating another right. Pretty soon you have all these unconstitutional regulations on your constitutional rights, and these unconstitutional regulations shrink your rights down to nothing. We, as individuals, have to be proactive in making sure that we defend the Constitution, that we defend the rights of every individual out there. I saw on Facebook one time, I want to see every gay couple defend their marijuana fields with AK-47s. I think that's beautiful. That's freedom. That's when you know you're motherfucking free. You know that, and that's the goal. You know, is to be free. You know, be free, pay less in taxes. You know, speaking about taxes, you know, we want to pay less in taxes. You know, the government should never ever tell us how to spend our money. They should never ever say you're gonna buy something or we're going to fine you. That is just wrong, you know. Like I said before, hey, I am a poor Mexican, all right, and I can say that Obamacare is wrong. To make anybody pay for something they don't want, can't use, don't need, it's wrong, man. It's totally wrong. I know a lot of you guys are gonna think, oh well, what about you know, healthcare? You know, how are we gonna get healthcare? You know what? Here's how we can, you know, get free healthcare, keep the doctors well paid, is by doing this, okay? We get rid of the NSA, we get rid of the BATFE, we get rid of the TSA, the DHS, we get rid of all these unconstitutional government agencies. We get rid of all these czars that popped up out of nowhere, you know. With the money that we save on that, we can get free health care, keep the doctors paid at a good wage that's going to, you know, make them want to keep their jobs. Plus, with that money, we could you know, have better public education, and we can donate to science. We can fund things like stem cell research. We can fund things like cloning. Okay, we can put NASA back out in space on top of things. Okay, we don't need an army to control this populace. What we need to do is defend the Constitution and put money towards science and education. That's where it should go. That's what we need to fund. And we can do this without raising taxes by eliminating all these unconstitutional government agencies that serve no fucking purpose at all. So in closing, yeah, man, I just, you know, want to say that we need to do more for ourselves, for our country, you know, for freedom. I think marijuana should be legal in every state around the world, everywhere. yeah, marijuana should definitely be legal. I don't smoke, but there's a lot of benefits to smoking marijuana. And I hope that y'all stand up and fight for your rights. And I hope y'all stop letting the government tell you what to do. You need to tell our representatives what we want them to do. And when you do this, I hope that y'all have the rights of the individual in mind, that you have the Constitution in mind, and you vote accordingly to the Constitution. You vote for free speech. You vote for freedom of religion. You vote for the right to privacy. You vote for the right of the people to keep and bear arms. You know, there's a lot of good things in the Constitution. If you have not read the Constitution, you need to read the Constitution. You need to read the Federalist, Anti-Federalist Papers. You need to read the Declaration of Independence. And if you're not registered to vote, you need to register to vote and vote freedom. Vote freedom every time. You know, I've talked to a lot of homeboys who have a problem with the cops. And I'm like, well, are you registered to vote? No, man, I don't vote. You know what? Every once in a while, there's initiatives that come up where the cops want to raise, and they do this by, you know, raising taxes. And I tell them, you know, you can prevent the cops from getting a raise by, you know, voting against these taxes. There's a lot of things that you can do. You are not powerless. When you think that you don't make a difference, and that means they have you right where they want you, that means they have you under control. That means you are submissive to your masters, okay? But you got to remember, you are their master. You have the power to vote. And before you think that your voting makes no difference, let me tell you something. Go work at the polls. Okay, you know, if you're not registered to vote, what you do is you go in there. If you've never voted, you go in there and you tell them your name, and they mark you off their little chart. You vote. You put it in a box. Okay, I've worked this. And during Prop 187, what was funny at the time, because, you know, at that time I was Democrat, and I saw Prop 187 as a racist initiative. Um, I worked to oppose that election, and all the Republicans showed up to vote. None of the Democrats showed up to vote. And of course, Prop 187 passed, got held up in court. But voting does make a difference. Your vote does make a difference. Don't vote for more taxes, because that's more money out of your paycheck. That's more money out of my paycheck. Okay, that means that these politicians are getting fatter, while you and me, we have to do without. Vote freedom. Vote less taxes. Vote limited government. We don't need the government, micromanaging our lives. We don't need them to tell us, what we own. Our vibrators are too big. Our guns are too powerful. We don't need them to tell us that. What they need to do is make sure the economy runs smooth, that we are free. And if you're going to have a war on drugs, take it to another country. And I'm not saying blow people up, but, go violate their rights. You're going to have a war on terrorism, take that to another country. Go somewhere else with it. It's good that they would try and keep terrorists out of the country, but when they start looking at patriots, when they start looking at people who love this country, who love the Constitution as a threat, something with our government is severely wrong. Severely wrong. And there's a lot of things that are wrong with the government, but that is severe for the government to turn on its own people and say, hey, you're a terrorist because you support the Constitution. It's wrong. Anyways, vote freedom, vote lowered taxes, vote limited government. Peace.